Hey guys, welcome back. I am Stu and this is Wacky Waikiki for Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic Wacky Worlds expansion. The people of Hawaii are bored of surfing and are looking for something more intense. You need to build a park with this in mind to keep the area's tourist attraction rating high. Your objective, to have at least 1,100 guests in your park at the end of October year 5 for park rating of at least 600. So the objective is pretty easy. 1,100 guests isn't hard. 5 years is more than enough time to do it. The part that strikes me about this is where they're looking for something more intense. So that makes me wonder if this is a scenario where the guests will require rides with an intensity greater than 9. Now, we've done a couple of these in the past, so we know that they will go on things that are lower or higher than that, but that depending on your park rating. But if it is, we can have some fun building some intense coasters. So let's see what we're doing. We're charging for entry. I usually put that up to about 40, and then once you've got a few rides down, that's usually justifies the entrance fee. Let's check out the rides then. Now, if we are going for the intense rides, then these will be useless, as will the gentle rides. The coasters obviously will be handy. In the thrill rides, the rotor drop will be useful. With the water rides, we might be able to do something with these, but it's probably going to be more hassle and time consuming than it's worth. Tons of shops. So I think what we'll do is we'll put our research into coasters to begin with. Once the guests start coming in, we can check what they like and what they dislike, and we can change things accordingly. So it might be that they don't want the intense rides, but we'll see how we go. So I think what we'll do then, we'll put a coaster down here near the entrance. I'll do a limb coaster. We had those, I noticed those. We'll do something over the entrance, put some loops in or something like that, and then once the guests start coming in, we'll have a look, see what they like and act accordingly. May year 1, I had to reduce the entrance fee down to 20. As soon as I did that, the guests started spawning, and then once they spawned, then I was able to click on them, and then I could see then Lowell likes intensity greater than 9, Danny greater than 9, Cecilia greater than 9, Melvin greater than 9. There you go. So they all like intense rides. So we've got a rotor drop just down here, 9.32 intensity, and then I've got a limb coaster here. So I've added the two loops. We've got the inline twists as well, and then what I've done is I've cranked the powered launch all the way up to 60, and that gives us an intensity of 9.99. so with this one, I'm going to be trying to get all my coasters to be 9 point something intensity. If I can do them, if I can get anything at a 9, I'm going to consider that a win. So this one is a win. Got a few shops down, merchandise in the exits as well, so when the guests come off the rides, you switch off scenery. There you go. So with the rotor drop, you've got the balloon stall and the t-shirt stall there as well, so as they come off, they can buy some of those because they're going to be happy coming off the rides. Yeah, so let's just crack on, and we'll see what else we can do. October year 1 got over 500 guests in the park, so we're almost halfway. Well, we are halfway there, because we only need 1,100 guests. We've got another rotor drop, 9 point something excitement. We've got a twister coaster here, so I wanted to go for something fairly small with a little launch at the start. The intensity came back, wasn't too great, it wasn't 9. So what I did is I added in another circuit as well, so you can up the circuits. As long as there's only one train on the actual coaster, you can up the number of circuits. So this one, 8.53, so it's not as high as I'd like. If I up the circuits to 3, it'll come back really high, so I don't want that. So originally it had 5 inversions, 5 drops. With the 2 circuits, it's doubled it, so it's got 10 drops, 10 inversions. So the guests are happy to go on there. The rating's good, so the guests will go on something lower than what they would prefer. And then just over here, then we've got an air coaster. These are really simple. They're overpowered completely. So excitement 9, intensity 9.79. So that's another win, although they are so easy to build. it does feel a little bit like cheating. Let's hide scenery for a second. So I've built a little path loop there, got my toilets, ATM and kiosks down as well. So we've got more than 4 toilets. So at the moment we are eligible for best toilets. If we can win some awards with this park, then we could help boost the guest numbers, although we probably won't need any help with that. And then I've just outlined where my paths are going to go. So I'm going to do some more path loops at some point and then build coasters on the inside and the outside. So let's crack on. October year 2, 1,180 guests in the parks. We've already done the target. We've got another 3 years to go. So coaster number 4 then is a Corkscrew Coaster, brown trousers, intensity 9.87. So it's another win. With this one though, what I've done, it comes down. You've got the corkscrews, and then right at the end, it's got that tight unbanked bend. That's what adds the intensity. So there's a lateral G of 3.04. I've got a brake there, this bit here. So what that allows me to do is it allows me to fine tune the speed going into that bend, because I want there to be some lateral Gs, but not too much, because I don't want the intensity to be too high, but I want it high enough to get the intensity over 9. So that's another win. And then wooden coaster just here. Unfortunately, we've got these horrible wagon cars. So with this one then, intensity 10.4. So that's higher than I'd like. Now it's coming down to these bends here. Now I have tried adding a brake, but it makes it go too slow, and that reduces the lateral G too low, and then it's about 7 or 8 intensity. So I might have a bit of a tinker with this in the next year, but otherwise I'll probably just leave it because the guests are going on. And then just here then we've got a stand-up twister, 9.09, so another win. And then again with this one, it's just gone through the brake section there before the last. There's a brake just there before the corkscrews, and then a brake just before the cutback section there. So that just reduces it down a little bit. But we've got the lateral G just high enough, plus the inversions and the drops, that helps as well. So it's all trial and error really. You want it to go certain speeds through inversions and through corners, just to give you a little bit of lateral G to help you with the intensity. So we've done the park goal then, so we can just have a bit of fun now the next few years, just building a few different types of coasters and trialing out a few different things to help get the intensity where we want it to be. October year 3, 1,500 guests in the park, no issues with guest numbers. I've tried playing about with the wooden coaster. One thing I did try was adding a little bit of extra track just here, in order, if we show you, I've removed it now. So it's going 27 miles per hour there into the last drop. I wanted to take a little bit of extra speed off it, and I managed to do that by adding a little bit of extra speed, a little bit of extra track, but then that brought the lateral G's down too low. So I just put it back to normal, and I've just left it then. So I'll show you that one later. What else have we got over here? We've got this junior coaster. So with this one, I've got a mix of unbanked bends plus 7 circuits. So is that cheating? Not really. I mean, you can play with the settings, that's fine. So I've put I was determined to get the intensity over 9 without making a really long junior coaster. So by increasing the counter, the lap counter, that helped get the drops up to 14, and we were able to do the 9 intensity. So what's that called? Frostbite. And then just over here then, Bloodshot, Floorless Coaster, intensity, another 9.99. So I wasn't aiming for the 9.99. I'm only aiming for something in the 9s. So I'm happy with this. Let's turn the scenery off. I like the way they interlock the corkscrews just there. Duals nicely as well. Just a little break just under there, just to help reduce the speed going into the corkscrews. So what have we got then? We've got 2 years to go. We've already got 400 more guests than what we need. So I'm just gonna build a few more coasters, try a few things out, and let you know how we get on. October 4, 1800 and something guests in the park. We've got Twisted Metal here, so it's a twister. Launches from the start, half loop into some inline twists, and then or barrel rolls, and then back down. And then how many laps have we got this one on? 3 laps, so that takes up to 9 inversions, and then 9.41 intensity. Cool. And it's only a where's the time? A 20-second ride. It does 3 laps. It takes 20 seconds. Guests are loving it. And then interacting with that, then we've got another corkscrew. Taxi Torment. 9.07. So good intensity on that one. Let's turn the scenery off. So a lot of inversions. Nice bit of lateral G as well. Helps boost the intensity. And then what have we got just over here? We've got Double Doom. 9.61. Another win. Lay down coaster. So it comes out into the inline twist and then some corkscrews around, and then unbanked bend at the end. 9.61. So we got another year to go then. We've got almost 2,000 guests in the park. I don't want to have too many guests in the park because we might have problems then with overcrowding and things like that. Yeah, I might try and pop down a few more coasters, but I can see me pressing fast forward once or twice during the coming year. October 5, we only needed 1,100 guests in the park. We've got almost 2,000. The last year, I've deliberately not built anything too huge. In fact, I wanted to go the exact opposite. I wanted to try and build something ridiculously small, but with the 9 point whatever intensity that the guests require. So I built this Floorless Coaster. So all it is, you start off, raise the station up 4 units, drop down into a cutback, and then back, complete the circuit then. You have to do a complete circuit, otherwise the train won't run, although it is running as a shuttle, but you need to have it in. You've only got the option really of the continuous mode. So I built one of these on the Japanese reclaim scenario because you couldn't have it any higher, and then I was amazed then at the excitement results. So I thought I'd try it on here just to see what would happen if we up the number of circuits. So I've got the number of circuits on 6, and that gives us an intensity of 9.66, which is ridiculous, to be honest. So maybe what you could do is you could just build a load of coasters like that and do it in no time. But yeah, so Wacky Waikiki. This was the last but one scenario on the Wacky Worlds expansion. It's in the expert setting, but it's definitely not an expert level, to be honest. I think by this stage, if you play in this one, then you'll have played so many that these sorts of scenarios shouldn't really give you too much trouble. So the guests want intensity of over 9. So the first thing I did was build this limb coaster. In order to get the 9 point whatever intensity, I just played about with the speeds. This is on 60. So if I put it up to 67 now, fast forward a second until the results come back in. There you go. So the excitement, the intensity is too high. So just playing about with the speed to get the intensity just right, and then that allows then the guests to come in and go on it. I had to reduce the price down. I usually put it at 40 to begin with. I had to drop it to 20 in order for the guests to start coming in. But then once I built the coaster and a few rotor drops, I was able to then put the price back up to 40. And then after that, then it's just been a case of building coasters and trying to get the 9 intensity. And if I can't get it then through just building it, then I just added a few little tips and tricks to try and get it. So this twister, this one isn't 9, but I added an extra circuit and we've got 8.52, so it's close. Things like this wooden coaster here, this is high, 10.4. Without doing a major redesign, I wasn't going to get the 9. That's fine. Guess we'll ride it. Got plenty of 9 intensity coasters, so I'm more than happy with the amount of coasters that we got. A lot of them we're trying to get the lateral G's fairly high, because that's one of the easiest ways of getting the intensity up high. Here's Junior Coaster. Got it by doing 7 circuits and using unbanked corners. So you see the lateral G there, 2.98. Air-powered coasters, there's a pre-built with these that you could use if you wanted to. I'm sure that's 9 intensity, but these are so simple and they're really overpowered. And then probably the best one in the park then is this Floorless Coaster just here. Bloodshot, again, 9.99. This one as well, this is fairly cheesy. Twister coaster into a couple of half loops with a barrel roll in the middle. Got it set to 3 circuits. Easy one. It's Halloween. We're going to pass the scenario. And we've done it. Company value of 513. Stew! Fantastic. What was the park value? Park value is quite high because park value is based on ride ratings. Cool. So that was Wacky Waikiki. Once you've got a good idea of how to dial in the intensity, it's not that difficult. A lot of it's just trial and error with the testing. Test it, and if the results come back too low, then maybe add something with a bit of higher lateral G. If it's too high, add a brake before the lateral G. Look at the graphs. So if you see on the graph there, you can see where the lateral G is at its highest. And then what you can do is you can add a brake. So on this one, when I first did it, the lateral G was highest through these corkscrews just here. So I've added right there where the back of the car is now. Let's just let it pass right there. Got a brake section just there, and that allows then me to dial in the speed and reduce it down. Nice back wing there. Yeah, so this was Wacky Waikiki. I am Stu. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!